My name is TownsideDM. I am the dungeon master of the Forgotten Journey. So, this is a campaign that's the biggest one I've worked on so far. It has a lot of cool stuff, and I would just like to say each of you have amazing characters, and I cannot wait to see them in action. But first, we're going to start off with Alucard. I need you to roll initiative.
Already?
Already.
Very good. 23.
23. Alucard. You are running in a large fort. Seems to be hundreds of years old, but dead quiet. As you're running through these different halls and passages, this fight has been going on all night. You've been fighting a vampire by the name of Cardinal, a vampire spawn that has been terrorizing this nearby town of SC Target. You have infiltrated his lair that he's been keeping into this small, broken down keep. You've been fighting all night. You are getting tired and weak. But this vampire still seems to be quick and ready to kill. You have him on the ropes for the most part, but right now you are running to protect yourself. Your turn is first.
Is he anywhere in sight?
Roll me a perception check with advantage because you're hunter senses. 19. You see amidst the shadows, two red glowing eyes just sort of dangling on the ceiling. He seems to be hanging from a chandelier, ready to pounce at you.
I'm gonna line up a shot with my crossbow. It's fine.
All right, roll to hit.
Okay.
That does hit. You see as you notch this bolt into your crossbow and you let loose. As you hit him in the shoulder, he seems to fall towards the ground, which is going to do some extra damage.
Plus 11 with 24 damage. Boy, after I shoot him and knock him to the ground, I'm going to sprint over to him and switch.
Next is going to be Cardinal's turn. Cardinal, he is going to quickly back up with his bonus action, and he is going to use his action to make a claw attack towards you. There's a 16 hit your armor class.
It does not.
You see as these claws scrape against your armor, leaving these sparks as his nails sort of elongate with this sort of black, sort of decaying fingernails. You see how he has blood dripping from his shoulder as he quickly breaks the bolt off at the head, throwing the body of the arrow towards the ground. I didn't know they would send a vigilant after me. They must have really started a ruckus in that village.
You must think yourself special. You know, you probably hunted last week.
Going to end his turn because he has nothing left to do. Alucard, it's your turn.
With my action, I'm going to raise my hand act above my head and bring it down on this spell.
Roll to hit.
That is a nat 1.
All right, so here's what happens. As soon as you bring your axe down, a piece of the old 100-year-old fort you're in begins to fall towards you. In order to not get hit, you quickly dash out of the way of this fallen debris, and the vampire does as well. But he is going to make a dex save. He is trapped under the rubble. Ah! You see the blood sort of splintering from the bone exposed in his calves as he sort of pulls himself out from the rubble with one of his legs now missing at the shin. He is going to take a bit of damage for that, for sure.
5.
Exactly 6, actually.
Look at you, cornered like a filthy rat. All you can do is run.
Saying my first action to tie his legs into a knot. Leg?
His legs into a knot?
One of them is already spaghetti noodles, so it shouldn't be difficult.
Well, he's missing one leg and the other leg is splintering with bone.
I'm gonna start lighting a fire. I'm gonna start lighting a torch. That's menacing.
As this vampire begins to crawl away, you pull out a torch soaked in whale oil as you ignite it in your hand. You notice that there are some drapes all around you in this hall, for it used to be a very expensive ballroom. You take the torch and you just drop it into one of these tarps as the fire quickly begins to spread. You can't leave me here to die! I'm just as human as you!
How dare you compare me to you, Bill?
Sorry, Grandma.
Ryder said sorry. You couldn't hear it, but they were screaming at the top of their lungs.
I'm gonna have to cut all this out.
You know, to anyone else, you might have actually posed a threat. You might have actually been a challenge for a vigilant. But to Alucard Olander, you are no more than a rabbit.
As you say this, you can see that he's opening his mouth almost to scream at you as a tarp falls on him as the flames fully engulf his body, and you see the silhouette outlined by this ash as he is being melted in front of you. Some of the flames sort of glistening upon your face, the heat warm. A warmth you are very familiar with.
Alucard takes his journal out and flips the Jardinal's entry, crosses it out. It's a very detailed notebook.
You open up this notebook with drawings and different steps to hunt this prey, his weaknesses, what he fears, and you slowly cross his name out as you close the book and put it back into your satchel. As you finish this, you remember that the people in Torget wanted to see you after you had finished the job, to make sure you were okay, and to reward you a little bit for after slaying the beast.
Guess I'll head back there.
As you begin to head back to Torget, we are going to switch over to Galkin. Galkin, you are on a ship. As this vessel is coming into port, you are awoken by the jar of it making dock. Get up! Hurry! Ship has to leave in 30 minutes. You better get up.
All right then.
Welcome to Torget. It was the closest dock we could find.
Right. I blink my eyes to kind of adjust to the brightness and wake myself up. Do you have an area somewhere that you could point me in the direction of?
A what? Speak up, lad.
Oh, do you have an inn or something that you could point me in the direction of?
An inn, of course. You're at a town. You can find it yourself. Go on. He sort of takes your bags and slams against your chest. Get off my ship. Go. I don't take freeloaders.
That's one way. Right. I turn around and walk off the ship and look around. What do I see in the town?
In the town, you see already broken down houses. There are thatched roofs that have been freshly remade for some reason. There are boarded up windows and doors, and there are signs that are swinging that would be for shops, but they're just barely attached with letters already falling off. There are scratch marks all over the fresh grass. The grass is as green as ever, but it's torn out of the ground, sort of, by what looks like a struggle between a giant monster.
Well, this is pleasant.
Master, I would first recommend figuring out why this place seems to be so distilled.
Yes, that's probably what we need to do.
You see, as Veil points towards what seems to be a meeting of the town, the closest inn you see, called the Giant's Hammer Inn. You see that there are a bunch of people gathered around with pikes, swords, and any weapons that they could find. Every night, he comes into our village, and he takes more and more of us. We can't let it stand. We are losing people to this beast. and we've probably already lost our monster hunter. We need to take a stand. We need to build this place up, defend our home, not let this beast take it from us. Ah! The people cheer around. You see, as this sort of old man giving this speech notices you, Vale points it out. I think he's taking an interest in you.
I've taken interest in her.
Well, maybe we should go see what this is about.
Indeed. I'm going to walk towards the crowd and specifically towards the man that, the older man that's giving the speech.
You must be new to town. Listen. If you want to help out, stay. Hopefully you know how to use that sword. But if you just want to get out of here, go to Akramore. We don't need anyone here that's not going to help us. Though, if you do decide to stay, we can pay you handsomely. You see, as around the village, people are already setting up spikes for these different walls, placing different raw meats in like these sort of netted traps over these different holes that are already dug through the ground. There are different spots of loose dirt. Most of the meat's already spoiled.
I'm gonna look the man in the face and say, do you have an idea of what you're going up against? Do you know the type of monster or beast that, well, lights your village?
We don't know anything about this beast. Almost bug-like. It burrows in the ground, like this, and he sort of takes his hand and shoves it through his other hand, making sort of like a hole with his fingers. And he comes out and snatches you, and goes back, and never returns. Takes one man at a time, every night. We try to fight him off, but he doesn't take the bait. That's piles of raw meat. It just sits there, doesn't take it. He takes you alive while you're still squirming, you see. He wants to feel your flesh tear as you scream. A true beast this one is.
A random bystander was having a coughing fit. Xander's currently choking on a burrito. Too much capsaicin.
If I had to guess, it doesn't like the meat you're laying out. It being rotten might have something to do with that.
The thing is, we place fresh raw meat there every night. Never goes for the meat. It just lets it stay there and spoil. It's like it knows it's a trap. This beast is smart. We need someone with a real wit's end on them. What do you say? Will you stay the night and help us fight this beast?
I want to spread a genuine smile on my face, hold up a hand for a handshake. I'll stay, and I'll help as much as I can.
Then it's a deal. 50 gold's in it for you.
Quite the price. I do enjoy that, but I am also curious about this monster. You don't know what it is.
Not a clue. We haven't told our monster hunter yet, but he's been gone for a week hunting a different beast. A vampire, or what he said, spawn. But what's the difference, really? Said name is Cardinal, matches all the descriptions from smartass who came in from the mainland. You know the Vale?
I do believe I know, yes.
He's going to take your hand a little bit, like by the wrist. He's going to, with a firm grip by the wrist, though you can't really feel it through your armor, as he pulls you into the Giant's Hammer Inn. Here, talk to Niffy. She can get you a room. Most of them are full, though. If you're hungry, she serves breakfast 24/7. See this nice old woman sort of giving you what looks like sign language. We have American Sign Language in D&D. We're then going to cut over to Alexander. Alexander, you wake up in bed, not really knowing how you got there. You remember feasting on the 24/7 breakfast of the Giant's Hammer Inn as you came in from just sort of venturing around, finding different cuisine to enjoy. And you eventually just ended up in the Fade. But you realize you actually can't afford breakfast today. You have no money left. But you hear out the door a very brawly sounding man talking to a individual's voice you've never heard before, talking about a large sum of gold for helping slay a monster that's been plaguing the village. It seems that he's paying 50 gold to anyone that volunteers. This could be a way to make some money.
I look from the window to my empty coin purse, and back to the window, and back to my empty coin purse, before eventually trotting downstairs, after my very vivid dream about choking on a breakfast burrito.
As you walk down, you're putting on your shirt as you're heading down the stairs, sticking one arm into each sleeve and pulling your head through. Your Foxen will follow suit as you walk up to the bar mistress, who says hello to you in sign language.
I wave. Also in sign language, I just say the sign for wave.
You see the leader of the village, unappointed leader of the village, talking to a man in full armor, with what seems to be a butler next to him, with a sword around his belt.
Sir, it seems someone is watching us.
Galkin, you see as Vale gestures towards Alexander.
I do believe it does. I want to wave to the figure that is staring at us intently.
I walk up with an unnerving amount of haste and hold out my metal hand for a handshake. You look quite rich.
Well, not really.
He's not.
Why do I bother with your people?
Actually, he has less gold than I do, and I don't carry money.
Is he in debt?
Severely.
I am Vale. You see as this man wearing a sort of black suit bows to you with his white-coated gloves.
This is Master Galkin of Tremonis.
And who might you be? I'm gonna hold up my hand for a handshake.
I relift my metal hand with much less enthusiasm than the first time. I'm Alexander, those are Clev and Cor. Clev's the fox, Cor's the wolf, don't get them mixed up.
Got us. They look sweet. If breakfast is in the budget, I'm assuming that's why you need money.
Oh, yes, I've been going on a bit of a cuisine tour, and my funds have run dry several times. But this time there's no one to preload off of, so, you look like an easy target. I gesture at him.
No, you're in easy target.
Is the unappointed leader of the town, is he still behind me?
He's just sort of like listening intently, knowing that he's been interrupted. His arms are crossed and he just has a scowl across his face.
I want to turn around, kind of look shocked at him for a second by his expression, but then understand and go, how much is the breakfast here?
3 gold.
3? All right. Alexander, I'm gonna hand you over.
When you turn around to hand me the gold, I am on my knees with my hands out in the shape of a cup. The animals are doing the same stance.
You see Clev and Cor are on the ground giving you puppy dog eyes.
I want to give a single piece of gold to each of them.
No, that's nice. Do you want a job?
Just here I come.
Before you start heading to the bar, he pulls you by the collar. You said if we gave you a room here, you'd accept the job.
Job?
Oh my god, why do I even bother? I'm heading back to Town Hall. If you need to know anything, talk to him. He points towards Galkin.
Yes, I'll I'll take the job, and I'll be there.
Thank you.
What job?
Anytime. I'm fine to be with you.
Oh, God, shit. You enjoy.
I will. Gonna promptly turn away and head over to the woman who knows no language.
Wait, what's the job? I say, following after him.
I'm gonna turn around to Alexander and tell him the job he was talking about. That's his he's gonna give a 50 gold to the people that help him hunt down the monster that is plaguing the town.
That's practically a few breakfasts, I say, running out of fingers to count on.
Yes, it would in fact be just about well 16 breakfasts.
You see Iffy at the bar table, sort of waving at you. She asks in sign language if you speak sign language. Do you speak sign language?
Yeah, I know it.
She asks you in sign language, are you going to get some breakfast?
I look at the direction that what's your name? It starts with a D.
It does not. It starts with a G. It's
An
Galkin.
odd name. It does not. Is it Gondor? Sorry, 3 people interrupted you and a bit of background noise.
It's Galkin.
Goldnir?
Galkin.
Gandalf.
Galkin.
Golfkin.
I look over to Vale. Can you communicate, please?
Master Galkin.
Dalkin.
Galkin.
Hold on, slow down. I look at Galkin's I give up. Coin purse. How large is this man's coin purse?
Galkin, how large is it?
How full is my coin purse? It's a light. It's not very full at all.
I glance down at my very clearly empty coin purse, put the 3 gold into my pocket and say, and sign back to her, yes, and he'll be paying, and gesture to Galkin.
She says in sign language, wonderful.
I'm gonna promptly turn around and say, well, now that you have the money for your breakfast, I think it's time I head to the, what did he say, town hall?
Wait, no. I grab him by his armor and start leaning backwards.
Is everything alright?
You have to prove it's your gold. Yeah.
I'm gonna look at the woman, smile, and pull out my coin purse, open it for her, and give her a thumbs up. That should do it. And I'm also gonna point my thumb at Alexander to let her know, yeah, that's mine.
You see that she signs towards you, Alexander? He does know I'm not deaf, I'm mute. Right?
I think maybe he's a bit stupid. But as Alexander does that, as Gandalf does that, I let go of his armor, plop onto the floor, and say out loud, "Yet another failed attempt at freeloading."
Galkin, as you begin to head towards the town hall, you see a man with a very stern expression that you can just feel through this armor walk into town with the head of what seems to be a burnt vampire. You can see the crispiness of the skin, the eyes have been singed to actual cinders, the ears pointed up, and the features barely recognizable, just being carried, whatever hair is still left on this vampire. You see him, he's covered in blood, as he takes a step towards the town hall, gaining a lot of attention.